Well, hello there. So this is video number 2 for my inventory slash vanity tour collection video. I'm filming this right after my intro for video number 1, so obviously I look the same. And oh, by the way, if you are coming here for hair or fashion, I'm not your girl. I just got off of a 10-hour shift. I am in comfortable clothes. I'm about to go hop on the treadmill. A couple times in the video, you guys will hear me say that I have oily skin, so I did have to powder, but I am still glistening. So I will try to film when I can. I'm going to express my love for makeup, but if after a 10-hour day it doesn't look perfect, then I'm going to ask for a little bit of grace on that. But I know that we're all friends here and we will all be adults and we will all be, I don't want to say polite because we can keep it real. Yeah, I actually have a keeping it real, but there's no reason to be harshly mean. So we are starting with video number 2 and we're going to look at the other side of my vanity. After this video, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to post a inventory. I've kept spreadsheets with my inventory, and so that video will just be numbers and spreadsheets. Since I am showing my complete collection, I do not plan on bringing anything in between now and the end of the year. So this is my complete inventory that I'm starting 2023 with. So I will go ahead and I'll show my inventory with my spreadsheets, and then that will allow us to start fresh in the beginning of the year with my project pans. So without further ado, I will go ahead and show you the other half of my collection. This is the top drawer of my vanity on the right hand side. This drawer is really used for kind of like tools. So I have my scale and my pens here that I use for tracking project pan. I have my headband that I use to hold back my hair when I do my makeup. I have a blendiful. I don't really use this, but puffs are getting very, very popular again, so I figure I might give it a try. You're gonna hear some doggy noises. My 3 German Shepherds are gonna be coming in and out. I have one of the little face shavers with a lot of backups here, a flashlight, some eye drops, and this is one of the tube squeezers. I don't really like these. They break on bigger tubes, but I have one, so I'll be able to use it if I need it. Some wipes, some Q-tips, cards for deck of panning. I have a powder with a little brush for touch-ups while I'm working, some eyeglass spray, and then again, just like a nail file, some nail clippers, and more of the face shavers. I have a few things tucked over here. I have some blotting papers. These papers right here track my deck of panning. And then I have a couple flashcards here. One is my oldest products to kind of remind me of what I need to use. And then I'm not showing this, but this is my list for my plan to pan for 2023. In this drawer, I have my blushes, highlighters, and bronzers. I have a magnetic palette with depotted blushes, so we can go ahead and start in here. I have the 4 shades from Essence. These are the blush formula. I have labels on the back of them with each of their names. I have a mini of NARS's Orgasm that came in a Sephora kit this year. Physicians Formula blush. This is the e.l.f. Duo in Watermelon that I did franken and mixed together. And then this is Benefit Dallas. I'm really disappointed that they did not include a color like this in their new line that they came out with this year, but I would really like to focus on using this up. This blush is one of the oldest in my collection from back in 2017. In this section, I have the rest of my powder blushes. I have the Hourglass Ghost Ambient Lighting Quad, the ColourPop I Need Space, which was a collaboration with Kathleen Lights. This is a single from Makeup Geek. This is in Desire. This is very pigmented, so a very light hand on my skin tone. I bought a lot of these compacts when Makeup Geek was going out of business, and they've been really great on me being able to repot more bulky packaging into these smaller compacts. But this is Ofra's Chicklet, which was a collaboration with Samantha March. I did hit pan on this blush earlier this year, but I felt like as a duo it got a little bit muddy on my cheeks, but mixed together it became a very beautiful glowy blush. I have 3 different Hourglass blushes. First one is in Incandescent Electra. This came in a FabFitFun earlier this year. I have Mood Exposure. This is also one of my oldest blushes from 2017. Just a beautiful kind of purpley cool tone mauve color. Lastly, I have the Luminous Flush, which is this beautiful pinky color, kind of reminiscent of the very popular cool tone pink colors right now. Everyone's favorite blush from Tarte. This is Party. I did pan one of these last year and hit pan on this one this year. This, I think, will be a focus in 2023 for me to finish up. I have a Clinique Pop blush. This is in Heather Pop. Again, one of those very beautiful mauvey cool tone purple colors. This is the Jouer Duo in Rose Gold. This is the mini. This is plenty of product. I don't know anybody who would be able to use up the full size, but this product here is actually very similar and reminiscent of the Samantha March and Ofra collab in the tones and the finishes of these powders. Over here are my cream blushes. So there's the Stila Convertible Color in Ilium. I did get this in a FabFitFun sale last year. This is a blush stick from ColourPop. This is in Pretty Thing. It is this beautiful dark berry color. As you could see from this and also that Makeup Geek blush, I kind of went through a phase of wanting that really like dark cheek. But I would love to get more use out of those next year. This here is a Franken Cream Blush. So anytime that I have a lipstick product that I have used up, I will usually dig out anything left in the tube, put it in here, melt it down, and this becomes a Franken Cream Blush that I enjoy using. The other face palette that I have that includes more than one type of cheek product is the Pat McGrath and Bridgerton face palette. This is a trio with 2 blushes and a highlighter. I just purchased this in late 2022, so I'm still getting to know this product. But moving on to the rest of my highlighters, I do have the Tarte palette that I have been panning for most of the year. This is what it's looking like right now. I did end up taking the darkest shade and mixing it in with the lightest shade, so I do have duplicates of this shade in this palette, but this has been my main focus this year, and I feel like I've been making really good progress on it. I have 3 Fenty duos, and so this one is in Mean Money and Hustler Baby. I did hit pan on both of these this year. This one is in Lightning Dust and Fire Crystal. Hit pan on both of these this year. And then this one is brand new to my collection. It also came in a FabFitFun. This one is in, let me check, Girl Next Door and Chic Freak. More of a pinky tone on this one. I have 2 Becca minis. This one is in Champagne Pop. This did come in a smaller compact, but I repressed it in here just to make it a little bit easier for me to pick up on my brush. And I did hit pan on this earlier this year. I have another mini in Moonstone. I've used this maybe a couple times, but it has not been a focus for me this year. And then lastly, I have an Hourglass mini, and this is in Incandescent Strobe Light. This is a very subtle highlighter, and I would like to get more use out of this in 2023. Lastly, this is my section for my bronzers. I have the Soul Body ColourPop Bronzing Balm. I have been using this for the majority of the year and have made really good progress on it. This is in the shade Light. I have a Becca bronzer, and this is in Bali Sands. This plans to be my bronzer that I focus on in 2023. Again with the Makeup Geek packaging, but these are actually bronzers from a Juvia's Place duo. This is in the combination for the Light duo, and it's just basically a cooler tone and warmer tone bronzer, but they did fit perfectly in these compacts. Then I have my large pan of my Franken bronzer. This has one of the Hourglass Ambient Lighting powders in Mood Light mixed into it. I did pan a couple of these Franken bronzers this year, and I think I want to try to pan this one next fall. I have some backups for my bronzers, so I did end up ordering a backup of the Soul Body Bronzer Balm, again in the shade Light. And then I needed to meet a shipping threshold for Ulta, so I picked up another one of the Wet n Wild contour sticks. This is in Oaks on You. I've used up 2 of these in the past, and I do really enjoy this, so I figured I could easily pan one of these next summer. In this drawer, I keep primers, mascaras, sunscreens, some of my backups, lip products, and foundations. Let's start with my SPFs. So I have 2 different ones from Paula's Choice. I really do enjoy some of the skincare and the sunscreens from Paula's Choice. Jessica Braun put me on to this one, and I ended up getting a free tube of this in a past order, and I really did enjoy it. Even though I have oily skin, I do enjoy using the glowy SPF in the springtime and in the winter time. I do have 2 of the e.l.f. Jelly Pop primers. This has been discontinued, and I am very sad about it. I stocked up last year when it came back into stock, but apparently this has been replaced by the Power Grip. I have not tried this yet. This is relatively new to my collection, so I want to get through some of these older ones before I dip into this one in the summer of next year. I placed a recent e.l.f. order, and I did get a mini of their Poreless Face Primer. I do have larger pores around my nose and on my cheeks. Again, I have oily skin, so I'm more prone to these deeper pores. So this really does help my makeup lay a little bit smoother on those problem areas. I tried a sample of the Glow Recipe primer, and I heard that this is a very good dupe. I can't really find it in me to spend $30+ on a primer anymore, so I went ahead and I picked this up on a recent Ulta order, and I am excited about giving this a try in spring of next year. I have a few of the Smashbox primerizers. This is in the old packaging. These went on sale last year when they were phasing out this packaging, and I did use up another one of these earlier this year. I'm on the second one, and then this is number 3 that I plan to use up next year as well. Lastly, I do have this NYX Poreless Primer. This is what I'm currently using. I don't know if I'll be done with it by the end of the year, but I do like, once I get the air pockets out of my tube primers, I do like to just fold them over so I have a really good estimate of how much product is left in them. Let's move over to foundations. This is the Clinique Better Skin, something like that. It had the doe foot. I have been using this as my concealer. I used up the majority of it earlier this year, and this is all I have left. I do plan to go ahead and use this up in January as my concealer. I have the Misha BB cream. I have it in shade 21. I used up one of these earlier this year, and I mixed it in with the IT Cosmetics CC cream. I do not like this on its own, but I love this as a mixer. It kind of tones down some of the foundations. It adds a little bit more moisture. So I plan to mix this with my NARS Soft Matte Foundation this summer, just to give it a little bit more hydration and to give it a little bit more of a glowy look. I have the Believe Beauty Foundation. This is from Dollar General. I've already marked it. This is going to be the next foundation that I work on in January. This doesn't have an ounce of product, so I should be able to run through this relatively quickly, but I really do like the formula and the finish of this foundation. I have a few of these, which I lovingly call my mystery foundations, because I literally have no idea what's mixed into these. I have tested them out. The formula is still good. The color is still good for me. I'm not sure how much of a priority I will make these because I literally don't know what they are, but they could be really good for mixing foundations, or just if I want to throw one of these in a project pan, I'll see how far I can get on these. A few months ago, I purchased the Shiseido Synchro Skin Radiant Lifting Foundation. I did pan the more matte formula of this earlier this year, and I really did enjoy that formula. But even though I have oily skin, I am nearing my 40s, so I'm trying to be a little bit more conscious about things settling in my lines and looking too dry. So I really wanted to give this formula a try, and I ended up getting a really good deal on it on Sephora when they were running a promotion on their foundations. Lastly would be the two foundations that are currently in my project pans. This is the Dior Backstage. I am really down there. I'm hoping that I can finish this by the end of the year. So this is what I'm currently working on in my project pan. And then this is another mix, and this is in my deck of panning, but I do know what's in this. There is a old, like a luminous NARS foundation in here. There is a CoverGirl CC cream, and there's also a little bit of the Maybelline, what is it called? The very full coverage Maybelline foundation is mixed into here. So there's 3 different foundations that I just kind of dumped in here and mixed together. This is actually a really good mix, and I do like to mix my products together when I feel like the individual products are not working for me. So these 2 right now are in my project pan, and I'll see how far I can get with these by the end of the year. For mascaras, I have a few full size and then quite a few minis that I end up getting as gifts with purchase. So I did pick up a full size of the Superhero by It Cosmetics. I love this. The length, the volume, the whole look, but after a while it does transfer on me. I have oily eyelids, so I really can only use this for about 2.5, maybe 3 months before it totally starts smudging on me. But I do love this formula, and I will pick it up on a deal whenever I can. Next is the Sephora brand, and this is the Big Volume Mascara. I absolutely love this. I had it in a mini size that I tried in a Sephora play years ago, and I've repurchased it ever since. So whenever they have their 30% off of Sephora brand during their VIB sales, I usually pick one up. The minis that I have down here, I have not opened any of these yet. I have the Clinique High Impact. I do really enjoy this. I've actually repurchased this one quite a few times, so whenever I get one on offer, I do like to pick this up. I really like this for the lower lash line. It doesn't do a whole lot for the upper lashes, nothing impressive, but it doesn't smudge on my lower lashes and it separates them, so I really like it for that. The Gucci and the Cali Ray, I have not tried these out yet, but I have been hearing amazing things about the Cali Ray because apparently it is a tubing mascara. I have tried tubing mascaras in the past. I tried one from Hourglass, and they do wonders about not transferring, but they usually don't give me the volume that I like.
The two mascaras that are actually in my rotation right now and that are open is I have a Too Faced Better Than Sex and I have another one of the Clinique ones. I have tried the Too Faced mascara a long time ago and I really didn't like it. I felt like it transferred, I felt like it smudged, but I got this for free during a birthday gift this year and I figured I'd give it another try. I absolutely love the look of my lashes that this gives, but if I was to go out during the summer in Florida humidity, this thing would smudge all over me. So I like that I'm able to use this right now in winter, and I'm also working from home right now, so I'm not out in the heat as much. And again, the Clinique High Impact, I really love this for the lower lashes. Over here are all of my lip products. This is a micellar water, and this is an old Urban Decay sprayer, but this just has rubbing alcohol in it so I can spray down any products that I want to sanitize. But overall, this is all of the lip products that I currently own. I guess I can start with lip liners. I have 3, but of course the 2 here. So I have another round, and I have Oh Snap. And then I'm currently panning this one in Little One. So these are the only 3 lip liners that I own. Next I have a glowing lip from ColourPop, and this is in Cockatoo. I just purchased this and it's like the first time you open it, the lid starts cracking. But I can typically run through one of these in about 2 months. I did pan one earlier this year. I have this Extreme Shine Gloss from Essence. I had originally owned a Buxom gloss in the shade Erin, because that's my name, and it was kind of this pale pinky gloss with a little bit of a shimmer. So instead of buying the 21, 23, I think it went up in price, the Buxom gloss, I figured I'd try this one out. I do enjoy the plumping of this. It's a little bit of a sticky formula, but I really would like to go ahead and pan this next year. I have 2 of the Too Faced Hangover Pillow Balms. I love banana scented products. So when this went on sale for the 21 Days of Beauty, I had to have this. So I did pick up one in banana and I picked up one in mango. I'm really surprised that once you actually start using the product, how quickly it goes. I think when they're new, everything just sticks to the side. It makes it look full, but I have a feeling that I'll be able to run through this one very quickly at the beginning of next year. I have 2 products sitting over here. One of them is a Sephora. This is the Melting Lip Click. I'm really surprised that they discontinued these and have not brought them back because of how popular the Maracuja Tarte lip products like this are. So I would be surprised if Sephora doesn't come back out with something like this, but I did pick this up on sale, and this is in the shade Carbol. This is one of the Hourglass Confession lipsticks. This came in the most recent FabFitFun. I did pick it up in the shade If Only, and this just reminds me of the Hanson song, so I had to have it. Down on this row we have a NARS Velvet Lip in Bound. This is a product that I picked up again because Jessica Braun used to talk about this all the time. This is currently in one of my project pans, but I really have not been reaching for it. I might need to start using this as a blush next year just because it's getting older in my collection. I ended up getting a Too Faced lip injection in a little sample kit from Sephora. This isn't my favorite formula. I really don't like products that burn on the lips, but I do use this every now and again if I do want a little bit more of a plump. These here are just 2 spatulas from my Laneige products. This is an exfoliating lip stick from e.l.f. I'm not going to open it because it's kind of gross to be able to see that, but it is in the coconut flavor. Then down here are all of my bullet lipsticks. So I have Virgo Moon from ColourPop. I love this color. I did have it in my deck of panning project this year, and I would like to make this the focus of 2023 since this is one of my older lipsticks in my collection. I have two from Marc Jacobs. This one, I have a little dot on it. This one's in my project pan right now. This is in slow burn, and you can see there's very little left in there. By the end of the year, I'll see how far I get, and then I'll end up digging out the rest and putting it in with the cream Franken blush that I showed earlier. Then I also have the Marc Jacobs lipstick in Infamous. This one's a little bit deeper and rosier, and this one I've hardly used. I did pick this up when Marc Jacobs had everything on discount and they were going out of business. Both these colors were recommendations from Jessica Braun, and I really do love this formula, but I don't know how much use I'll be able to get on this because it is very similar to the ColourPop Virgo Moon color. Lastly, I have this lipstick from Clinique. This came in a kit that came with a free order, so I didn't actually purchase this. This is in Plum Pop number 14. Again, it's one of those kind of berry mauve-y pinky colors, and it is very similar to some other lipsticks that I have. I'm not sure how much use I will get on this or when I will end up using it, since I do have other colors that are so similar. Then again, back here, I do have some of my overflow. I'm keeping my two backup bronzers down here. I have some extra pads to my eyelash curler. I have an Aquaphor that I do use for my lips from time to time. And then I have the Laneige, what is this called? The Lip Treatment Balm. This also came in the most recent FabFitFun, and I'm just sticking it back there, and I'll end up using it once I'm done with my other Laneige lip mask. This is my fourth drawer down, and it's kind of like a treasure trove for my panning needs. So back in this corner, I have my T3 roller clip. I have sponges back here, so I will declutter all the sponges that are currently in my rotation, and I will bust out new sponges for 2023. My favorite is the DSDM Shop sponges. Up here, I have a lot of just empty containers. I use these for decanting, depotting. I love using this Tatcha, this empty Tatcha container for repressing. Just the shape of this really helps me get a nice mix on the powders, and it cleans up really well, so I keep this aside just for my repressing. I also have a pair of needle nose pliers, and this is like a panner's best friend. I purchased these strictly for using on my makeup, so I do sanitize them before I use them. They've never been used for any sort of like handiwork around the house, but this is perfect for removing stoppers and also removing lids off of foundations that you don't think the lids come off of, but they actually do. Then in the back here, I do keep empty packaging for items that I have decanted or put into other containers. I like putting my foundations into the airless pumps that you saw earlier, but I do hold on to the original packaging, so when I do use those up, I can put the original packaging into my empties. So I have a lot of different original packaging down here. The only real product down here is the jumbo size of the First Aid Beauty Ultra Repair Cream. I picked this up during the most recent Black Friday sale. I will mix this in with another moisturizer because this is a little bit too heavy for my oily skin to use day to day, but I'll mix it in with a little bit more of a lighter moisturizer, and this will be my daily moisturizer for the majority of the year, I'm sure. This is the very bottom drawer, and really I use this for my nail polish. So I keep my nail polishes. I have some nail polish removers. Back in the day, I used to enjoy doing the Jamberry stick-on nails, but I saved the containers and I just filled them up with acetone. I keep some cotton rounds. Really, everything else is just storage in my office that I need for things like command strips. There's other little nail kits back here, extra cords, things like that. So this really is a drawer that is dedicated to my nails, but also some other storage.
I hope you enjoyed seeing the rest of my makeup collection and what I am rolling into 2023 with. Like I said, my next video will be an inventory with me showing images of my spreadsheets, and then we can kind of set up my plan to pan, what projects I'm going to be going into, how I'm setting up my budget. It will kind of be like a low buy, but with a budget. I have a different budget for skincare. I have a different budget for makeup, so I can explain all of that. So if that sounds interesting, please consider subscribing and coming back and seeing my videos. Remember to give me a thumbs up to let me know that you enjoyed this, and I'll see you guys next time.